Hello, I'm Rhonda. Welcome if you're new. Welcome back if you're returning. I'm so glad that you chose to spend a portion of your day with me. You might want to grab a drink because we might be here for a hot minute. I am going to do my May wrap up. There was some stitching, there was some diamond painting. I did not really stick to plan, and I'm going to tell you why. If your hobby becomes more like a job and it's not fun, then you shouldn't do it. And somewhere towards the middle of the month, I got a teeny bit overwhelmed. A teeny bit. And it wasn't the stitching that overwhelmed me, which was a shocker. It was the multiple diamond paintings. And I love diamond painting. Don't get me wrong, I still love diamond painting. It's just that having that many and not really having a way to put them up, get them out of the way. The painting itself wasn't so bad. It was the diamonds being kitted up. So, while I will participate in Maynia again, it will be the stitching portion of it, not necessarily the diamond painting, but I will work on whatever I'm working on that month too. I'm glad they're started. And we're going to go through and I'm going to tell you what I did. Alright, forgive me. I have notes. So if I look down, look away, that's what I'm looking at. Okay, so on May 1st, Tiny Decisions picked the Christmas Elf Runner. This one. Just bear with me because I'm too afraid I'm going to get mixed up and I won't be able to get it all back to where it needs to go. So that was this one. And as I said, it's the runner. Put that back in there. And on that day, when it was started, I ended up putting 303 stitches into it. I have worked on it some since then and did a little more. Let me fold it so that it's not so see-through. But there you can see what I have completed. So I've done a lot on the little elf and some of the antlers on the deer. Close. As I said, my stitching needs a lot of work. I'm not saying it doesn't. It looks a little bit better uncounted than it does these stamped ones. But still, I think it'll be cute when it's done. So that has been worked on. And I'll also say, you will hear my dogs. For those that are new and haven't watched my videos before, I have 5. 4 are here in the house with me, and 1 is on the road with my husband. Okay. Put that back in the basket. Alright, and then on day 2, Tiny Decisions picked the Cat Books diamond painting. Let me dig through and pull that out. I believe it's this one. Yeah. So it's a rather small one. And this is what I got done that day. Look at it shimmering. It's so pretty. So And I will try to remember to insert pictures of the diamond paintings, what they will look like when they're completed. I will try. But that's what's done on that one. Put that one to the side and get my notebook back. Okay, so on day 3, Tiny Decisions picked elegant coffee cups. And that day I did 496 stitches, and I have done more since then. I have pulled it out multiple times for the School of Magical Stitches and Literature challenges and homework. I've got my needle stuck in it, and it's already threading. Let's see, what can I do? What can I put behind it to give it a little... It's a super busy pattern, so you can't see a lot. And of course, I've made an executive decision. I am going to remove the tea bag and not stamp it, and not stitch it. Since it's stamped, it's supposed to wash out, and just make the handle like some of the other stitches, because I'm not a tea drinker. In fact, I'm allergic. I don't know what it is about it that I'm allergic, other than something in the process of how they clean the leaves. I can't drink tea. I wish I could, but I can't. So that's what I have done, not only the day of, but the multiple times that I have picked it up and worked on it. And hopefully I'll get a chance to work on it more, and then it will no longer be a whip, it will be a finish. Just give me a moment to put that one back up. Alright. And then on May 4th, Tiny Decisions picked Rhinestone Tree, and I worked on it, and I'm happy to report that it was my first finish of May. Come closer for you to see. And I already have a frame for it, so I will probably do a framing video soon and get this in the frame so I can get it up on the wall. Still very pretty. So that's a finish. Lay that back there. It took me about 4 hours to complete that one. Then I did a surprise new start, which was the Kentucky silhouette map. And that day I did, on May 4th, 522 stitches. And it was also, you know, Derby Day. And since I'm a Kentucky girl, I thought that that was important. Well, I'm going to have to restart it, because I don't have just a sweet tooth, I have sweet teeth. And even though I'm on keto, that's something that has not left me. Not quite sure why, because it's supposed to, but it hasn't. And I was eating chocolate, and I got a smudge on the fabric. So I'm going to have to restart that one. But that's okay. I will restart it. I will cut the fabric and restart it, and I will probably do that this month, actually. June. And I got quite a bit done on it too. So that's pretty. But anyway. Still, I did start it. I will restart it. It's okay. Then on May 5th, I started the Tiny Decisions said to start the Christmas tree scarf. And I started that and did is that it? Yeah, that's it. 183 stitches that day. And again, let's see. And of course I did the string of light, the light strand all the way up to here. And I opted not to do the satin stitch on the ornaments, just make it all open. And then I'm not going to do the X's in the ornaments or the cup for the bulb, so that it flows better. So I did that, and then of course I worked some more on the special project because I was so excited to start the Kentucky one, and we already know how that went. Okay. Then on May 6th, Tiny Decisions, I did 776 stitches on the special project. Not that it matters now, but I did it. Eagle Diamond Painting is what Tiny Decisions picked on May 6th. And I don't have a whole lot done. But I did get that done. Aren't those colors beautiful? And that's of course what it's going to look like when it's all said and done. So there's that one. And then on May 7th, I started Love Grows Here, because that's what Tiny Decisions picked. And that day I did 293 stitches on it. And I worked on it for multiple challenges and doing multiple things. And I'm happy to report that it was my second Maynia finish. Can you see that? Isn't that pretty? I love the colors in it. I love how it turned out. So there's that one. And I will get it into a fully finished object as soon as possible, because the kit came with the hoops. I just got to get the supplies to hoop finish it. Alright, and then Tiny Decisions picked Flamingo Diamond Painting. And I got a decent start on it. Let's see if I can't pull up the cover so you can tell better, so that the light doesn't flare on it as much. So I outlined the entire background. I started down here. I've got quite a bit done down here. But there's the flamingo. I need to have this one done by August. I'll lay that down. And then on my pen, on May 9th, I started Be Happy. That's what Tiny Decisions picked. And I'm just going to be honest with you. Hate this project. Do not like. Do not want. It will probably go in the garbage. Move, Trixie. Thank you. I think this is it, yeah. Again, hated it. Every single solitary second, every stitch, hated it. I won't jump the gun and toss it yet, but I'm just not happy with it. I did some, executive decisions and decided not to do some things that it required because I thought it looked horrible. Ripped it out, started over. Just this was not an enjoyable stitch. So, there's that. And I know, we can't love everything. We can't love everything. There's a couple of diamond paintings I've done. I didn't like those either. I ended up finishing them, and I didn't like them any better when I finished them. And then on May 10th, Tiny Decisions picked the pink rhinestone mandala. And it was my third month of May finish. I've got a post-it note on here because I measured it so that I can go and find a frame. Back here so you can see the whole thing. And then closer. Trying to see what you all can see. I'm sorry. I'm not very good at this, but maybe I'll get better. But there we go. That one's done. So I need to get a frame for it and get it on the wall. Oh, sorry. I gotta have a face itch. And then on May 11th, Tiny Decisions picked the mason jar with the flowers. And I worked on it a couple of times, and again, it's another busy pattern. Oh, that's the wrong one. It actually might be in here. It's in here. But I will do my best to show you what I've done. Okay. So, mason jars. I stitched some on this first one and some on this second one. Some over here. Alright, the bag behind it's not going to work because it's a flopsy one. Okay. So on this one, love these little things, and some way over here. And I found with these that it works better, the stiff ones that are printed like this, to stitch in hand. But I think this one will be pretty when it's done. Get my clip back on it. Alright. And then on May 12th, Tiny Decisions picked Tinkerbell. And I worked on it that day, but I also worked on it another few days. And then my niece came over and I introduced her to diamond painting, and she did some work on it. So let me pull the plastic down a little bit. So this is what is done so far in Tinkerbell. All black. So I made some designs to make it not seem so monotonous. But there we go. And I just kept her strapped to the light pad. But Tinkerbell. There. Alright. And then I worked a little bit on the Christmas tree scarf that day. On May 13th, I worked an hour on my truck custom, an hour on Tinkerbell, and I did a new start of Blessings, because the kit was called Love and Blessings. So Love you've already seen, and you know that it's a finish. And I worked off and on this one as well. In fact, I even worked on it last night, and it's almost a finish. Almost a finish. So all of the flowers that are just replicated down here are done up here. Simply is done. Bless is done. So I've just got the flowers and the leaves down here, and this one will be done. So I have a feeling that this will probably be my next finish. Beautiful, right? I like that a lot. I enjoyed stitching on the pair of these. The companion pieces. And then on the 14th, remember, organization is not my strong suit here. On the 14th, Tiny Decisions picked the umbrella diamond painting. And I still have it on the light pad. Just give me a minute to get my clips and my protective papers off. This is parchment paper, which I like using whenever you don't really have enough of the sticky canvas to use the protective sheet. I'm sorry, I'm eating my hair. This one will not take very long to finish either. And there it is. Pull you in closer so that you can see. And yeah, I have multiple light pads. Multiple. For various reasons, you know, you work on one, you leave it on the light pad, all you gotta do is remove the light pad and slap a new one down with. But yeah. It also helps whenever you're showing other people diamond painting and you want to diamond paint with them, to be able to have multiples. And as someone who suffers from anxiety, it's a wonderful thing. And I will say that for the most part, stitching helps my anxiety too. That Be Happy one sure didn't. It frustrated me to no end. Bear with me while I get this clipped back up. And then we'll continue on. Okay. Alright. And then on May 15th, and I'm saying and then a lot. I'm sorry. That has to be annoying. I started on the Serenade tea towels. Tea towel. Let's see, where did I put those? Here. And I only started one, and it has my hair on it. I did not start the other one. Again, best laid plans. But that's what I got done. So it started. I think I did 154 stitches. So I'll get back to that at some point. And finish that one. And what I'm trying to do is get the stamped ones done before I start the counting, since I know that I'm going to enjoy the counted a whole lot more. And if I do that, then I won't want to go back to the stamped. So I'm trying to be smart about this and not be, wasteful. But that Be Happy one, I just don't know, y'all. Okay, and then on May 16th, I worked a little on the truck. I worked on the umbrellas, and there was no new start. And that's where I kind of fizzled out. But I'm still happy with the progress that I made. I'm happy with the finishes that I have. I would love to be able to show you the truck custom, but I will show you when it's completed. And I do know that I will be... Sorry, my watch keeps buzzing and I keep looking. I apologize. I will be continuing with the whips that I have. And I think that as of right now, I will be updating every week on all the things. And again, I hope that you had an amazing May, that you were able to create a lot. Enjoy your hobby. Enjoy the heck out of it. Because this life is hard enough without... When your hobby creates stress, that's a bad thing. You don't ever want it to create stress. So if you enjoy it, do it. If you don't enjoy it, don't do it. Don't make your hobby stressful. Again, thank you for spending time with me today. Thank you for your support. I appreciate each and every one of you, every like, every dislike even, every comment. And if you're not subscribed, I hope that you will. If you are not subscribed and you would like to be, I hope you will click that little button, ring the bell so that you're notified every time I upload a video. And I will see you in the next one. Until then, keep sparkling, keep shining, and show the world your sparkle.